Picture this, if you will. It's late, or early. You can't sleep. You've been worrying about something all night. You haven't been feeling well. You can't stop thinking about it. You feel like you're coming down with a cold. You took your temperature before bed. It was normal. But you just feel like something's off. You think, I have to check. You don't even have to think about it. You know exactly where it is. You're taking your temperature and you're thinking, this time it's going to prove that I'm sick. The timer goes off. You check it. Huh. No fever. You think to yourself, maybe I did it wrong. Check again. This isn't the first time you've done this. You're used to this. It's routine now. You have to check. You have to check. You have to check online. You've got to look for something that's going to match what you're feeling. Your symptoms are not normal. You go to Google. Type in the words you've been thinking all night. You see an article, you follow the link. You already know what's coming. The words flash on the screen anyway. You're going to die. I knew it. This is health anxiety. When I was younger, my mom used to say that I was a hypochondriac, and I kind of knew what it meant, but didn't think about it a lot. Like, you know, people worry about getting sick, but I took it kind of to extremes. You know, like, if I had a headache for too long, I might think I might be getting like a tumor or something. Or, you know, like if my stomach hurt, I might have an ulcer. You know, and I'd start worrying to the point where I'd constantly inventory the way that I felt. And if anything was anything other than normal, then I would just like kind of leap into these life or death sort of scenarios that were irrational. But, you know, in my head, I felt like it was real, and I'd worry about it. It's like a real problem. I've been dealing with this for most of my life, but it seems like it's gotten worse in the last 10 years. It's like I usually get some kind of weird, unexplained pain somewhere in my body, but it's mild. It's not really a big deal, but in my head, I'm just like, what is it? It's unexplained. I didn't do anything to make it hurt. You know, and then over the next few days, my anxiety goes through the roof, and then before you know it, I'm in the ER, and I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack. That actually did happen to me. Like, not once, but like 3 times. Like, how does that happen? I had heartburn. I've had heartburn before, obviously, but like this was different. Like something was off about it, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And like the more that I thought about it, the more my anxiety ramped up. And as I kind of paid attention to it, it changed from like burning to a dull ache that just wouldn't go away. I started Googling for something that would explain what this was. Heartburn was just heartburn. Solutions were minimal. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, chocolate. I like to drink a lot of Coke, and I don't shy away from a beer or 4, but surely this wasn't it. I kept looking. One website after another, and this simple heartburn gradually evolved into a monster. I was clearly in the early stages of a heart attack. I had maybe 2 out of 10 symptoms. After reading the list, the symptoms I didn't have, I started having.
Maglot?
It's Maglot, actually.
Oh, you again. Door to your right.
Okay. I'd go through the whole thing and tell the doctors all my symptoms, and they'd patiently listen to me. And then they'd do the whole procedure and check me over and make sure everything's good. And every single time, they tell me that, you know, I was perfectly healthy, my heart was fine. There's was nothing wrong with me. Problem was anxiety. Anxiety? Random pains don't just show up out of nowhere. Everyone gets anxious from time to time, but it doesn't make you feel like you're having a heart attack, right? Fine, I wasn't having a heart attack. But it had to be something. Something they must have missed. I'd go home, go to bed, and the next day it'd be pretty much back to normal. At that point, like, a wave of embarrassment would wash over me. Like, what the hell was I thinking? I'm not sick. I'm too damn young to have a heart attack, but I just really focused on it and convinced myself that that's what it was. And I could not stop it, no matter what I tried. Going to the hospital was basically me just paying for peace of mind. Like the only thing that works. And, of course, something else would pop up. Go through the whole cycle again. Every time this happened, the doctor would tell me that I have anxiety. And I got put on antidepressants because they help with anxiety, I guess. I'd get better, and then they'd tell me to get off the meds, and it would come back. I keep going into this horrible cycle until one day I decided to do what any hypochondriac does. Google it. Instead of looking up symptoms of whatever ailment I thought I had, this time I dove into exactly what health anxiety is. I read a Wikipedia article on it, and it was like staring in a mirror. I couldn't believe how accurately it was describing me. Exactly what I've been going through. I mean, like, super specific, weird details that I thought for sure was unique to the way that I felt. I found a page on Reddit where a bunch of people were sharing their stories about their health anxiety woes, and it was crazy. It was like my words coming out of someone else's mouth. Things like reaching out to others for reassurance that you're okay, and like constantly checking your temperature, and then Googling your symptoms repeatedly until you find the worst possible scenario. Like, the list went on, and it kind of freaked me out a bit, but at the same time, I felt a sense of peace. Finally, someone understood, and I wasn't going crazy. One of the best pages I found was something I'd been confused about this whole time. Every time the doctor said, "You have anxiety," he wouldn't explain anything. And I found this page with all of the physical symptoms anxiety can cause. Like, holy shit, this is what I needed to hear. And nearly every symptom on this list I have had in past freakouts. Symptoms that I felt had nothing to do with being anxious or stressed about something. And then it clicked. All the times I'd had a freakout, I've been stressed or anxious about something. Something that had been troubling me deeply was subconsciously working on my physical body and making me tense, wearing me down, making me feel sick. Like, I'd had a few drinks to calm down and I feel a little bit better, but with alcohol being a depressant, that only made it feel worse in the long term. This has only been a recent revelation, but since then I've been pretty good about not Googling any symptoms I've been feeling here and there, and it hasn't been easy. And there's been plenty of times where, I'd nearly resigned to just take a quick look, just one quick peek. Wasn't going to go down any rabbit holes, but I just had to satiate that curiosity. I was sure I wasn't going to see anything bad, but I think about all the times that I did do that, and it's all results saying I was going to die. Like a lot of people, just scared to death. I don't know. It's the fear of missing out, I guess. There's just so many things that I want to do still, and I don't want to miss out on it because I didn't catch something early enough. Something that threatened to take my life, and I ignored it or didn't go to the hospital and take care of it in time. My mom died in 2018. She was fine one day and had some pain, and the next day she had cancer, stage 4. She died 2 years after the diagnosis. That just really stuck with me. It's definitely a large part of why I worry so much. Recently, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I try not to think about it, but I just can't help but wonder, am I next? now that I have someone special in my life, I want to be there for them as long as possible. But I also don't want to constantly annoy them with these sorts of freakouts. My doctor prescribed me some meds, and they definitely help dull the constant pinging of, it could be cancer, it might be kidney disease, feels like appendicitis. No, it's definitely worse than you think. You should probably head to the ER. You're not gonna make it. You should call 911. They're gonna find you dead if you don't check. All to a low background hum. I cut back on the drinking, and honestly, I've been feeling a lot better lately. It's still tough, but I'm making it work. I'm not quite ready to throw away my thermometer just yet, though. Well, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I kind of put more of myself out there than I thought I would, I guess. But this is something I have been dealing with, and I really just wanted to talk about it, just kind of get it out of my system. So, if you're dealing with this kind of thing, there's resources out there to help. So definitely take care of yourself. And, make the algorithm happy. Do the like, comment, subscribe bullshit. And I guess I'll see you next time. Don't worry, they won't all be this deep. So it'll be all right. Peace. Mwah.
A man drank 7 liters of soda every day for at least 10 years. This is what happened to his kidneys.
I should not be watching that.